In the green land of Uganda, where banana plants stood tall and the drums of life beat every morning, a girl named Namutebi was born. From the time she was little, people could not stop talking about her beauty. Her eyes shone like the calm lake after rain. Her skin glowed like ripe mango, and her smile melted even the heart of the strictest elders. But there was one problem. Namutebi was lazy, too lazy. When the girls woke up early to sweep the compound, fetch water, or peel matunke for breakfast, Namutebi was still sleeping. She would turn on her soft bed and pull the backcloth blanket over her head. If her mother called her, she would answer with a weak voice, Mama, let me sleep a little more. I am still tired. Her mother, Nasanga, would smile and let her sleep. She believed her daughter's beauty was enough blessing. Why should my Namutebi suffer? Nasanga would often say, We are rich, we have servants. Let the workers sweep, cook, and fetch water. My daughter is a flower. Flowers are not meant for hard work. Indeed, her home was big. Namutebi's father, Simanda, was a respected man in the village. He owned coffee plantations, banana gardens, and cattle. Many men came to him for help, and he was known as a man of wisdom, but he worried about his only daughter. One morning, when the rooster had crowed and the compound was alive with sounds of pistols pounding millet and women singing as they walked, Simanda stood at the door and called, Namutebe, come out and greet the sun. A girl who sleeps while others walk will bring shame to her home. Namutebi dragged herself out slowly, her hair rough, her eyes still heavy with sleep. She looked around and saw the compound already clean, water already fetched, and food already cooking. She smiled proudly and said, Father, see, everything is done. Why should I waste my strength? Her father shook his head. My daughter, beauty without hard work is like a pot without a bottom. It cannot hold anything. One day you will marry. If you go with these lazy hands, your husband's home will smell of shame. But before Namutebi could answer, her mother, Nisanga, came rushing with a wooden stool for her to sit on. She placed sweet bananas in Namutebi's hand and said, Hey, Simanda, leave my child alone. She is not like other girls. Do you not see how beautiful she is? Men will fight to marry her. Why should she spoil her soft skin in the sun? We have workers for that. Namutebi smiled and leaned on her mother. She knew her mother loved her so much to ever force her. From that day, her father tried many times to correct her. He would ask her to follow him to the garden and learn to weed coffee or to milk the cows. But each time, Nasanga defended her. One afternoon, Simanda called his wife aside and spoke with a heavy heart. Nasanga, you are spoiling this child. You think wealth will last forever? You think servants will always be there? What if she marries a man who has no riches? What will she eat? Her beauty? What will she feed her children? Her soft skin? But Nasanga only laughed and waved her hand. You worry too much, my husband. Even if she marry a poor man, her beauty will raise her up. Rich men will always desire her. Do not worry. Namutebi will never suffer. And so the days turned into months, and the months into years. Namutebi grew more beautiful, but always more useless in the home. While other girls learned how to cook luwombo, fry fish, and make millet porridge, Namutebi only painted her nails with the juice of flowers and admired herself in a broken mirror, while other girls carried water pots in their heads with pride. Namutebi sat under the shade of a mango tree and told stories. Villagers began to whisper, "Hey, the girl is beautiful, but she is too lazy as a lizard on a hot stone. Her beauty will finish like a dew under the sun if she does not learn. Who will marry such a girl?" But Nasanga did not care about the gossip. She continued to protect her daughter from every chore. Only Simanda carried the weight of fear in his heart. Many times he prayed under the night sky, "Lubale, gods of our land, may the child not bring shame to my name." But prayers without actions are like drums without drummers. They make no sound. And Namutebi continued to grow into a woman whose face shone brighter than morning, but whose hands knew nothing about work. By the time Namutebi turned 18, her beauty had spread like wildfire in dry grass. Every village market, every wedding, and every festival echoed her name. Young men fought to catch a glimpse of her smile. When she walked to the well, rarely and only to show off her beads and clean gumensi, the boys would line up pretending to fetch water. Hey, look at Namutebi. Her eyes shine like morning stars. Her skin smoother than fresh milk. Surely she will be the flower of any man's compound. But they never stayed long enough to see the truth that Namutebi hated lifting a finger. Her mother, Nasanga, was proud. Each time she saw men following her daughter with hungry eyes, she whispered, "Did I not tell your father? A flower does not weed gardens. A flower does not pound millet. Look, suitors are coming." And Namutebi has not even touched a cooking pot. One evening, a group of respected elders came to Simanda's home. They came with guns of Malwa beer, goat meat, and polite words. At the front stood Masuke, a wealthy man with wide shoulder and a heavy purse. He bowed deeply and said, "Sibo, Zimanda, we come with respect. We hear you have a daughter who is more beautiful than the rainbow after rain. Our son wishes to marry her." Zimanda welcomed them, but inside his heart he felt cold. He looked at Namutebi, who was sitting in the corner, her nails long, her eyes decorated with cowries, and her eyes glowing like a festival lantern. She looked beautiful, but he thought of her lazy ways, her refusal to cook, her dirty clothes thrown in the corners, her bed unmade until evening. He thought of how she refused to fetch water or even sweep the compound. He looked at Musoke and said with caution, "Indeed, I have a daughter, but beauty is like a ripe fruit. It does not last. A wife must know how to cook. Are you sure your son can live with her ways?" Musoke laughed proudly. "My son has wealth. He has servants. He does not need a woman to dig or fetch water. He only needs a woman to sit beside him, to smile, to carry children. Your daughter will be like a queen in our home." At those words, Nasanga clapped her hands with joy. "Hey, you see? Did I not tell you, husband? Namutebi was born for greatness, not for chores. Even her suitors understand her. Leave her alone." Simanda said nothing more. He swallowed his warning like bitter herbs. But the marriage with Musoke's son did not happen. Within weeks, rumors spread that the young man found Namutebi too proud, too careless, and too lazy. She would not even serve him water when he visited. She left her hair uncombed, her clothes scattered, and her mouth too sharp. He quickly withdrew, leaving his gifts behind. It happened again with another suitor and another. At first, men came with excitement, but after few visits, they left shaking their heads. "She is beautiful," they whispered, but she's not a wife. She will rot a man's home. Namutebi never cared. Each time a man left, she laughed. Another will come. Look at me. Am I not beautiful? Men will never stop coming. Her mother encouraged her. Do not worry, my flower. Let them go. A better man will come. One who understands you deserves to rest. But her father grew more worried. One night he called Namutebi and spoke with a heavy heart. My child, listen to me. Men do not eat beauty. They eat food. They do not sleep on smiles. They sleep in clean homes. You think these suitors live because they are blind? No, they see the dirtiness. They see the laziness. One day, a man will take you, but if you do not change, you will lose him too. Namutebi rolled her eyes and said, Father, you worry too much. Men are like bees. They will always come to honey. And I am honey. Her father shook his head. He turned to his wife Nasanga and said, You have built pride into the girl like a house of clay. One day, rain will come and the house will melt. And when it melts, do not say I did not warn you. But Nasanga only pulled her daughter close and smiled proudly. She will marry. She is too beautiful to fail. And so the seasons turned. Namutebi grew even more beautiful, but still no man stayed long until one day a man came not for beauty alone, but with a heart full of patience. His name was Kato, and he would change Namutebi's story forever. Kato was not like the other young men who had come before. He was tall, with strong arms from working in his father's coffee garden. His voice was clean, his steps steady, and his eyes were full of kindness. Unlike others who was dazzled only by Namutebi's beauty, Kato carried a heart that believed in patience. When he first saw Namutebi at the market in Mengo, she was laughing with her friends, showing off her new beads and swinging her waist proudly. The sun kissed her skin, and her beauty glowed brighter than fresh matuke leaves after rain. Kato stopped in his tracks. That is the one, he whispered to himself. Unlike others, he did not rush. He asked carefully about her family. He visited her father's home, greeting with respect and carrying small gifts, salt, sugar, and a roaster. He spoke politely, bowing to Simanda and Nasanga. Banangi, he said, I come with clean hands and a good heart. I wish to know your daughter Namutebi. Zimanda looked at him long and deep. He saw a man who was hardworking, a man who could take care of a wife, but his heart trembled with fear. Still, he said nothing. Nasanga, however, clapped her hands with joy. Hey, you have chosen well. Our Namutebi is a flower in the garden. She is the most beautiful girl in Busanga. You will never regret it. Kato smiled shyly. He asked to meet Namutebi, and soon she came walking slowly, her steps graceful, her smile wild. She sat before him, lowering her eyes in shyness, though inside her head was thinking, Another man has come. Let us see if this one will last. Kato spoke gently to her. Namutebi, I have watched you from afar. You are like the moon that brightens the night. I wish to know you more, to walk with you, and if the gods allow, to make you my wife. Namutebi giggled, hiding her mouth behind her hands. Hey, you speak too sweet, but do you know me? Do you know that I am not like other women who wake up to sweep or cook? Kato laughed softly. Work is not everything. Love can carry many things. I am not afraid of who you are. If you let me, I will carry you with patience. Those words touched Namutebi. No man had ever spoken like that before. Most men left quickly after seeing her laziness. But here was one who said he would be patient. From that day, Cato visited often. He brought gifts, fresh fish from Lake Victoria, roasted granuts, and even Gamusi for Namutebi. She enjoyed the attention and the gifts. She told her friends proudly, "This one is serious. He will not run like the others." Her father, Zimanda, pulled Keto aside one evening. "My son, listen to me. Beauty is good, but beauty without cleanliness is poison. My daughter is not like other women. She hates work, she loves to sleep, and she is careless with her home. If you want peace, think carefully." But Kato only smiled. "Tata, love can change a person. Give me your blessing, and I will teach her. I will be patient. She will learn." Zimanda sighed deeply. He had spoken, but Keto's heart was already tied. He knew the pain of ignored warning, but he could not stop destiny. Within months, the families met. Drums were beaten, elders gathered, and Keto brought bride price, cows, goats, clothes, and gods of Malua beer. The clan blessed the marriage, and song filled the air. Umwana Awede, Namutebi Awede, she has gone. She has gone to her husband's home. Namutebi smiled proudly, dressed in her new gomesi, beads around her neck, and henna on her hands. Her mother whispered as she embraced her, "Do not worry, my flower. You are too beautiful. Even if you never cook, your husband will never leave." But her father's eyes were heavy with sorrow as she watched his only daughter, leave. He murmured under his breath, "Lubale, protect my child, for she walks into a house where her beauty cannot sweep, cannot cook, and cannot wash. May patience not die quickly." And so, Namutebi entered her husband's home. The compound welcomed her with drums and ululations. Kato was full of joy. He believed his patience would cover her flaws, but the days ahead would test him in ways he never imagined. The first days of marriage were sweet. Keto's home was small but warm, with banana gardens stretching behind it and chickens scratching happily in the yard. His mother, Nasali, was kind and welcoming. She showed Namutebi the kitchen, the granary, and the clay pot lying neatly in the corner. "My daughter," she said gently, "this is your new home. Here, the kitchen fire must never die. A woman's hands keep the house alive. May you be blessed with children and wisdom." Namutebi smiled and nodded. But inside her heart, she thought, "Eh? Why so many words about work? I am not a servant. I am a wife, a beautiful wife." The first morning after her wedding, the rooster crowed loudly. The compound was alive with sound, goats bleating, birds singing, and women in the neighboring compound sweeping. Nasali expected to hear the same in her son's house, but when she went to check, she found Namutebi still fast asleep, her wrapper pulled over her head. She shook her gently. "My daughter, the sun is already high. A Muganda wife rises early to sweep, fetch water, and prepare tea for her husband." Namutebi yawned and turned. "Mama, just let me sleep. I am still tired from the wedding." Nasali sighed. She did not want to embarrass her new daughter-in-law, so she swept the compound herself. When Keto came from the garden, sweating from weeding the coffee, he found his mother cooking porridge while his new wife was still dressing slowly, painting her lips with jewels from the crushed hibiscus flower. "Hey, my wife," Keto said softly, "you should rest later. Now is the time to cook and clean." Namutebi only laughed and hugged him. "My husband, why worry? Your mother is here, and she is strong. Let her cook today, I will do tomorrow." But tomorrow came, and Namutebi still did nothing. Days turned into weeks, clothes piled up unwashed. The kitchen was messy. Banana peelings scattered on the floor. The clay pots that once held fresh water now stank because Namutebi never cleaned them. Flies buzzed around the cooking place, and goats sometimes entered the kitchen to lick leftover food. Neighbors began to whisper, "Hey, Kitu's wife is beautiful, but look at her compound. It is dirty like a goat's pen." She sleeps until the sun is hot. What kind of woman is that? If she continues like this, even beauty will not save her. Keto heard the whispers, but he closed his ears. Each time his mother complained, he defended Namutebi. Mama, she is still adjusting. Marriage is new to her. Give her time. She will learn. But Nasali was not fooled. She had lived long enough to know that a lazy woman grows lazier when she finds a soft husband. One evening, after the compound smelled of rotting leftovers and flies covered the food, Nasali called her son aside. My son, open your eyes. You are carrying a snake in your house. A wife who does not cook, does not clean, does not wake early will rot your home. Do not let her beauty blind you. But Keto shook his head. Mama, do not speak harshly. I love her, and I'll be patient. She will change. Yet even he began to feel the sting of shame. One night, he returned from the garden, tired and hungry. Instead of warm food, he found Namutebi sitting under a mango tree, laughing with her friends, her hair freshly plaited, her nail polished with red jewels. The cooking stones were cold, and no food was ready. Honey, he said, trying to hide his anger, I am hungry. Have you not cooked? Namutebi reported and replied, I was busy with my friends. Besides, why must I cook every day? Tomorrow I will. That night, Keto went to bed on an empty stomach. He tossed and turned, his stomach growling, but his love still whispered, Be patient, she will change. But the truth was clear to everyone. Namutebi's beauty was only skin deep. Her laziness and dirtiness were slowly turning her new home into a pit of shame.